Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Talk It Up with Tiara Monique. It is your girl Tiara Monique, and it is time to talk it up. Welcome back. Happy September. We made it to September. We made it to back to school season. We are all in. I'm all in. All my kids are in school. Two are actually in person, and the other one is virtual, thank God. So I'm so happy that school has started because they need to get some more learning than YouTube University that I have been using for my kindergartner. But yes, welcome back. I'm so glad you are back. I hope you are having a great and wonderful day. And if you're not, I hope it gets better. Whatever day you are listening or watching this, I hope your day becomes better than it started. And I hope God provides for you in any and every way that you need to make your day great. Okay? Okay. Well, if you're new to this, thank you and welcome to my YouTube channel. And thank you for listening to me on Anchor or wherever on podcasts that you're listening to, maybe Apple, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. You can find me on all those podcast streaming apps. Also, you can find me on YouTube right now if you're watching me at the Talk It Up with Tiara Monique YouTube channel. So this is my third episode on the YouTube channel. So I hope you are watching and liking and sharing and subscribing so you can get that notification every time I post either a video or a short or anything. So welcome. So welcome. This YouTube channel and podcast is all about helping people through my experiences. I don't think that we go through anything that's not meant to help someone else. So I hope that my experiences and the things that I come to get revelation on helps you. And if it doesn't help you, hopefully it helps somebody else. That's why you need to share. Okay? Okay. So again, thank you and welcome to this episode. As you can see, the title of today's episode is How Faithful Are You? And I'm not talking about in just relationships. I'm talking about how faithful are you to yourself, to your body? How faithful are you to God? How faithful are you to your purpose? How faithful are you to your job and your career? How faithful are you to your family and your friends and your relationships, whether it be a marital relationship or somebody you're dating right now. So we're going to get into all of that in a few. So before that, let's go ahead and pray. God, we thank you for this awesome and wonderful day. We thank you for everyone who's listening right now. We ask, God, that you will equip us with the right tools and the right knowledge and wisdom to continue and to remain faithful to you no matter how we're feeling, no matter how our day is going. May we remain faithful to you first, and knowing that us being faithful to you will help us to be faithful in all areas of our lives. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. So I kind of gave you my conclusion in that prayer, but we are going to get into all that about being faithful in just a minute. Okay? So, we come to our segment of the day. Not trying to go too fast, but I got some things to do in a little bit. So I want to go ahead and keep it moving. But we come to our very first segment of the day, which is Black Legacy Moment. So our Black Legacy Moment. Come on, microphone. Hey. It doesn't work. That's why if you try to listen to my audio, I do need to say this. If you watch the video from last week, and you're like, oh, I don't have the opportunity to watch it right now. Maybe I can listen to it on Anchor. Well, you probably didn't find it there, and that was the episode called Divorce is Not a Cure. For some reason, well, I know why. The microphone that I had purchased that was connected to my phone did not record any of my audio to the Anchor.fm podcast app. So the only way that you can hear any of my great advice about divorce is not a cure is if you go to my YouTube channel and you have to watch and listen there. So, but you won't be disappointed. Either way. Okay. So again, here we are on our Black Legacy Moment. So our Black Legacy Moment person of the week is Latarius R. Whitfield. Now, some of you may know Latarius R. Whitfield. He is the creator of the Dear Future Wifey podcast, which is in its third season right now. It actually started a year ago, well, a little over a year ago, April 15th, 2020, during the pandemic. And I wrote some things about him as to why I am choosing him as our Black Legacy moment of the week. So if you don't know, like I said, he has a podcast, the Dear Future Wifey podcast, and he started that podcast to not only help other people, but to also help himself in the long run, to help him to rediscover love and to discover, why things went the way they went in his past relationships and his past marriage. I chose him because not only is he helping the Black community, and it's not just Black people who are affected by the things that we go through in relationships. Other races are as well. But it's important that Black people and the Black community see other Black people fighting to be faithful to their spouses, to be faithful to their purpose, to walk with God in their single life, and to show people how they learned from their experiences and not just going about their business, but to actually show other people in the Black community that you can get through this, you can overcome this, and you can be successful in your life and in your relationships. And he's a Black man who's doing it. And usually you only see Black women doing this. But here's a Black man who said, I'm going to do this to not only help myself, but to help other people win in relationships and win at healing in our lives. And he's a Black man he's very in tune with his emotions, and he's not afraid to cry. He's not afraid to laugh. He's not afraid to give a message to people and to pour into people while they also pour into him, because he's not just giving, he's also receiving in these episodes. And I just think that it is just awesome to see a Black man doing his thing and showing other Black men that it's okay to cry. It's okay to be accountable for your actions. It's okay to say, I messed up and I don't want to mess up again. It's okay to apologize to an ex-spouse or ex-girlfriend if you hurt them. It's okay to want to abstain from sex into your marriage. It's okay to be on fire and stand out for God, even in 2021. So that is my Black Legacy moment person of the week. His name is Latarius R. Whitfield. You can follow him on YouTube. He has a podcast again called the Dear Future Wifey podcast. They're in season 3. He's also on Instagram, and you can follow him on his personal account and his podcast account. And so I just think that's awesome. So let's give it up for Latarius R. Whitfield. He's awesome, and he's doing it, and he's a Black man, and we support you, and we salute you, and we hope that God will continue to bless your endeavors and your mission to create healthy environments and healthy relationships in the Black community. Okay, all right, so that's our Black Legacy moment. All right, so to move it along, I don't really have a story time this week. I guess I can say if I did have a story time this week, I would say that my story time, let me go ahead and cue the music. Story time, cue the music, bing! If you're listening to this on Anchor, you will hear my music. If you're watching this, I don't know what I'm going to put in there yet, but anyway. So last night, I had the opportunity to have a conversation with someone, and I was talking about how I am trigger happy when it comes to canceling people out of my life. And not just, I'm not talking about friendships and family, but right now in my dating experiences, I think because I've been single for so long, I don't want to put up with anything. I don't want to give an allowance or even grace to someone when they do something that triggers a memory or a person who has hurt me. And God has been dealing with me about that, about how if I really want to um, have an opportunity at love and a purposeful and impactful marriage, I have to be able to start now at giving grace to those who I feel may not line up to what I think they should be or should be doing when I'm dating them or getting to know them. And I say dating very loosely because many people think, oh, you're dating someone, that means you're exclusive. No, I'm just getting to know them. We're just in the investigative stages. No, there's no, there's no permanent commitment at this time. But in getting to know someone, I want to be able to extend grace to others and for them to extend grace to me. And so I joke all the time and I say, oh, I want someone to get past the 30 days. And I may have said this before in another podcast episode before. But if you've never heard this before, listen. And if you have heard this before, maybe you'll find something new. You'll hear something new. But I have had this thing where I said, well, if you can get past 30 days, then maybe, there's some, good traction or good foundation here, and maybe you can stand up to my life because I have a lot going on. But in actuality, I think I've been trying to find things so that someone would not make it past 30 days of getting to know me. Usually it would be like, oh, they done did this. Let me go. Nope, I don't want to deal with that. And I'm like, it's like I'm nitpicking, or they say if you're looking for something, you're gonna find it. And sometimes I'm looking for something and it's not really there, but I make it something that is really isn't to justify me not wanting to get hurt again. And it's all about, and that's just driven by fear. And it's a fear of not getting hurt. It's a fear of giving my all to someone for them to leave me again, for them to abandon me again. And then an aha moment that I had last night, I realized this is what you're doing. You're afraid of getting hurt. So you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to give this person 30 days. I'm going to give this guy 30 days to see if he's going to mess up. And if I'm already going into it with a negative thoughts about someone messing up, then I'm going to get what I'm expecting. I'm expecting someone to hurt me. I'm expecting someone to lie. I'm expecting someone to not be consistent. I'm expecting someone not to follow through and not to call or whatever. And that should not be my expectancy. Is that even right? That should not be my expectations. There it is. That should not be my expectation. My expectation should be, hopefully I will learn something from this person. Hopefully this person will learn something from me. And hopefully a connection and a bond and a friendship can grow, and something else romantically. If you're going to anything negatively, even when you hear people say, I don't want to get married because I don't want to get divorced. Well, if you're already thinking about a negative result, then that's what you're going to get. So I say that to say, don't stop. Don't cut off the blessing before you even receive it. You don't even know if that person is a blessing to your life. You don't even know what that person can add to your life, even if it doesn't even become romantic. I know my pastor in Florida always says, he said this many times, that if a person stays in your life past a hello and a goodbye, then there's a lesson there. You're going to learn something from them, and they're going to learn something from you. You don't know what assignment you may have on that person's life. You don't know if you're meant to just listen to them because they're going through something, or pray for them. You just don't know. So I'm telling myself that I need to give people grace because I want someone to give grace to me. I'm not always going to cross every T and dot every I, and I should not expect someone else to cross every T and dot every I because they're not perfect and I'm not perfect. And that's that. So yes, that's my story time of the week. And when we come back from a word from our sponsor, if you listen to this on Anchor, you will hear a sponsorship audio. And if not, if you're on the video, I'll be back in just a moment. All right, welcome back. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast today. All right, so How faithful are you? I wrote down my notes. If you see me looking down, that's why, because I wrote down my notes. Because a girl be forgetting things. I forget things all the time. So how faithful are you? I wrote this quote down for myself. And it says, being faithful is not just showing up. It's committing to the process. And so I asked this question before we even get to this, because I had to ask myself the same question. Are you only showing up to be seen, or are you showing up to do the work? And that's in regards to faith, being faithful. And I have 3 categories in regards to being faithful. Well, I guess I should say 4. 1, are you faithful to God? Are you being faithful to your marriage or your relationship? Are you being faithful to work? And are you being faithful to your family and friends? Okay? So let's go ahead and get into that. So, being faithful. Are you being, let's start off with God first, okay? Are you being faithful to God? And being faithful, the definition of being faithful means to be loyal. Are you being loyal? Can God count on you to be loyal to Him? Can God count on you to be faithful to Him in the few things, like the Bible says? If you're faithful over a few things, I will make you faithful over many. So many more things. So are you faithful to God? And I look at it like this. If I don't have a strong foundation with my vertical father, God is all around us anyway. But in faith, we always look up to God. The sky, heavens above. We don't know. But that's what we do. So from the Christian standpoint, if my vertical relationship with God, if I'm not faithful to my vertical relationship with God, how can I be faithful to my horizontal relationships that are around me? How can I be faithful to my spouse or anybody I'm in a relationship with? I'm not, but just go with me. How can I be how effectively am I faithful to my job? How effectively am I faithful to my family, my children, my friends? It all starts with God. If I'm not in alignment with God, then I can't effectively and successfully be in alignment with you. And I say you as a spouse, relationships, work, family, friends. Okay? So that's first. And you have to ask yourself that. And this is not to judge or pass any judgment if you're not. And you may be asking, how can I be faithful to God more? By spending more time with Him. By waking up earlier than it's time for you to go to work and just sit and have time with Him. You don't have to have a 30-minute full-on worship service with God. But you can start off with 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And as your relationship grows with God, you're going to want to spend more time with Him. You're going to want to be more loyal to the time that you all have together so that you can hear from Him. If you've been asking God something and He hasn't answered, He's probably waiting on you to sit still and be quiet with Him. That's how you can be faithful to God. That's how it starts. So once I get in alignment with God, then I can become more faithful in other areas of my life. Okay? Okay. All right. So that's one. That's God. The next thing, your marriage or your relationship. Okay? So, are you showing up to be seen in your marriage, or are you showing up to do the work in your marriage or relationships? Okay? So if I'm a husband or a wife and I'm just showing up to be seen, this is what I'm doing. If I'm a husband, I'm just providing. That's it. I'm going to work. I'm helping to pay the bills. I'm providing. Or I'm doing stuff around the house for you. You got your honey to-do list and you giving it to me and I'm doing it. And that's how I'm just being seen. Okay? If I'm a wife, if I'm just being seen, I'm taking care of the house, I'm taking care of the kids, I'm washing your clothes, I'm making sure you have something to eat, but that's it. So basically in that instance, I'm just showing up to be seen, to basically complete my role in the relationship. That's it. I'm just showing up. If you ever heard a man say, "Well, dang, you got a roof over your head," or you hear a wife say, "Well, dang, I make sure you got a meal every time you come home." But is that enough? Is that really being faithful and loyal and committed to the process of your marriage? So that's those things I just mentioned is just you showing up and being seen. Like they can see you. Your kids can see you when you walk through the house, but are you there? Okay, we're gonna get into that later. But your wife and your husband or your boyfriend or girlfriend, they just see you, but are you there? Are you just fulfilling a role? Okay? Now, if you're doing the work, if you're showing up doing the work, if you're committed to the process, if you're being loyal and faithful to the relationship, these are the things that you would be doing. You will be checking in with your significant other, with your husband, with your spouse, with your boyfriend, with your girlfriend. You will be checking in. You won't just say, "How is your day?" You will say, "How are you?" See, it's different when you just say, "How is your day?" How is your day? Is, "Oh, my day was good. Work was good." No, because that's me telling you, or you asking me how my day was, and I'm telling you how other things that could contribute to my day being good or bad. You know, I can say, "Oh, my boss got on my nerves," and then you think, "Oh, I had a bad day." But asking someone, "How are you?" How are you doing? And really wanting to know how they're doing, not to change anything, not to fix a problem, but just to hear them out because you want to listen. People just want to be heard. And that's why there are so many marriages on the rocks, so many relationships breaking up so fast because no one's being heard. People are saying they're listening, but they're not. They're listening just to get you to be done because, "Oh, let me go ahead and ask you how you doing." No. How are you doing? And I'm listening. I'm not watching TV asking you this. I'm not on my phone asking you this. I am purposely sitting here committing to you. How are you doing? Not just how was your day. How are you doing? You can ask, "How was your day?" But you can also ask, "How are you doing?" Okay? All right. That's how you check in your relationships, okay? How are you? And then you ask them, "Is there anything else? Is there anything I can do to help you feel better? Or is there anything I can do to add to your day to make it easier for you?" It's not trying to fix the problem. It's trying to meet the need of the person. When I'm faithful to the relationship and I'm committed and I'm loyal to the process of us working, because marriage and relationships require work just like anything else. It doesn't have to be hard work. It can be as hard as you make it to be. It can be hard if you don't do what you need to do to keep it running smoothly, to keep it going, to keep it being happy and joyful. Or it cannot. So how faithful and how loyal are you to your spouse, to your girlfriend, to your boyfriend, to your husband, to your wife? Are you checking in with them? Or are you just being seen? Are you just there? Or are you doing the work? Are you committed to the process to show your faithfulness? And yes, we can go into all the cheating, whatever. But when you don't check in with your spouse and you don't know how they're doing and you don't try to meet their need, then that's when cheating starts. Because, "Oh, you're not hearing me." And that's when someone becomes unfaithful to the relationship. Not unfaithful to you, unfaithful to the relationship. Because if you're doing what is needed to make the relationship work, you won't have any problems with committing to the process, which is being faithful. Okay? Okay. All right. All right. The next one is, are you faithful at work? Woo. Okay, let's get into this one. Are you faithful at work? Or are you just being seen? Are you showing up to do the work? Or are you just showing up to be seen? So let me give you some examples. I'm gonna give you an example of how you're just being seen at work. You go to work, and your mentality and your perspective of being at work is, well, I'm here. I gotta go to work again. Oh, it's Monday. Oh, it's Monday. I gotta go to work again. Gotta get up. Oh, I'm complaining again. I'm at work. Well, I'm here. You're not on time. Or even if you're on time, that's your mentality. Well, at least I'm here. At least I'm here. They better be happy I'm here, because if I wasn't here, this wouldn't be going on, and this wouldn't be going on, and this wouldn't be going on. That's just being seen. Remember, if you are faithful over the few things, God said, if you're faithful over the few things. A few things is a job. That may not be the job that you want to be at, but are you faithful to what you already have so God can bless you for what you want? Okay, so I'm talking to myself too. Let me tell you something. When I do this, when I write these notes, God is speaking to me too. I am not exempt from this, okay? So that's just being seen. You go to work, you're there, you do the bare minimum, you do just enough, and then you clock out, and then you go about your business. Okay? So this is when you are being faithful, when you are truly being faithful to your job, your whatever, your work environment. When you're on time. Yes, they don't pay you enough. Yes, you're doing things that should be done by a supervisor or a director or whoever, and you're still getting paid the minimum. You're not being seen. They're not praising you. They're not giving you their certificates and not patting you on the back and saying you did a great job. But you show up on time. But you still come into work and you show up on time. And showing up on time is hard, especially for somebody like me. And I work from home. So it's all about if I change my perspective and I say, I'm not going to work for them. I'm going to work for God. I'm not doing this for them. I'm doing this for God. Remember, if I start with my faithfulness and my relationship and my commitment and my loyalty to God first, then everything else around me will get stronger. My perspective will change towards everything in my life. So if I say to God, I'm doing everything for you, I'm being a faithful husband and wife. I'm being a great mom or dad. I'm being a great friend. I'm being a great sister and brother and whatever else, niece, nephew, daughter. And I'm going to be a great employer or an employee. Then I'm doing it all to God. I'm not doing it because of nobody else. Because people will change and they will disappoint you and they will sway you. So if I am committed to God first, if I'm faithful to Him first, then I will be able to be faithful in the long run to the things in front of me. And that includes work. So are you showing up on time? Are you volunteering to do extra stuff, even if you're not going to get paid extra money? Are you doing things without being asked? Because in the long run, God will promote you. Man don't have to promote you. And this may be a Christian cliche. Man does not have to promote you. You want the favor of God on your life. Because when God gives you favor, He gives you favor with man, your job, your boss, the people around you. Answer prayers happen. Supernatural stuff happens in your life. You're like, wow, I didn't even know that was happening. Why? Because I was being faithful. Because I was being faithful. And you're not complaining. See, if I'm just being seen, I'm just showing up, I'm complaining about my job. But if I'm being faithful and I'm committed to the process and I'm committed to the work and I'm being loyal, then I'm not complaining. I'm saying, God, I thank you. I thank you for the job that I have because so many others don't have a job. I'm so thankful, God, that I don't have to be dependent on an employment check. I'm so thankful, God, that you've given me this job. And I'm thankful for the new stuff that you have for me in the future. But for right now, in the present, I'm going to thank you and be grateful for what I have. Are you being faithful? Are you being faithful and loyal and committed to the process of your job? All right. So I wrote this down. This is a side note. God doesn't want your lazy effort. He doesn't. in anything. He doesn't want you to be lackadaisical. I love that word. It means lazy. He doesn't want you to be lazy. He doesn't want you to be lackadaisical. Because if you're lazy in doing what he has asked you to do, which is being faithful over a few things, the small things that you don't think that matter, then why do you think that he's going to do some supernatural work in your life? Why do you think the blessings going to come down from on high and the miracles are going to come and come and come? No, if you're not being faithful, if you're not being energetic and passionate and doing what God has asked you to do, and again, you don't know what God has asked you to do if you're not having time with him. Okay? When you're sitting and having time, it don't have to be in the morning time. It can be in the afternoon. It can be at night when the kids go to bed. It can be at lunch on your lunch break. You go to your car and just have some quiet time while you're sitting there eating your chips. God can talk to you while you're eating your chips. It don't have to be so fantasized. It don't have to be so just pomp and circumstance when it comes to God. He sees you where you are. He just wants you to say, you know what, I know how important it is for me to spend time with you because my life depends on it. My purpose, my destiny, everything that you have for me depends on me spending time with you. Okay? So he's waiting to see what you will do with what you have. He's waiting to see what you will do with what you have. That's just it. Because you can't be always in the mindset of, well, when I get my house, I'm going to do this. Or when I get my spouse, then I'm going to do this. When I get my new car, what about what you already have? I know somebody right now is getting up every morning. And I'm not saying I just know, not only do I know somebody personally, but I know just by waking up in the morning and I hear, living in the city, and I hear the traffic. People are getting up to go to work in their hoopties, leaving their apartments, being single, being divorced. Are you faithful in the place that you are right now? Are you taking care of your home? If you're in an apartment, if you're in a studio apartment, if you are living in someone's house and you are renting a room, are you faithful to that? Are you being faithful to that? Are you taking care of it? Are you making sure that it's clean? Are you being respectful to the people around you? Because you want God to bless you with a house, but you're not even taking care of that little 800 square foot apartment you got. How he gonna bless you with this 2,000 or 3,000 square foot home that you want, that you keep looking at every day on the computer? I know, because I do that sometimes. But you're not taking care of what you have at home. Now, I do. I take care of my apartment. Okay, I don't like dirty. I don't like dirty. But you can't wait until you have the big for you to appreciate it. Can you appreciate the small now? Can you keep your car clean? I drive a 2002 Acura MDX, and all this squealing and bumping and I feel like I'm riding a go-kart. My shocks are all messed up. I don't know what it is, but I'm keeping it clean. I'm doing my best to keep it serviced with oil change or whatever. I do as much as I can with the money that I have. I can't be waiting for God to give me a new car to be able to then appreciate it and be thankful for a new car. I need to be thankful right now for what I have. And I pray every day. I'm going to say I pray every day. When I get in my car, because I don't get in my car every day. When I get in my car, I do my best to remind myself to be thankful for that car. And I pray, God, get me to my destination. Thank you for this car. And I pray that you can get me to my destination. No breakdowns, no nothing. Because I done had it. I done had some times with that car. But I don't have no car payment. And without that car payment, it's allowing me to pay down debt. So I can get inch closer and closer and closer to becoming a homeowner again. And in the single state that I'm in. So, okay. All right. That was a side note. All right. Back to my last one was family and friends. Are you faithful and loyal to your family and friends? Are you showing up to be seen, or are you just showing up to do the work? Which one? Are you showing up to be seen, or are you showing up in your family, in your family's lives, and in your friends' lives to do the work? So how do we do that, Tierra? I'm going to go ahead and tell you. So if you're just being seen in your family and friends' life, you avoid the phone calls. You know you have those people who call you and you don't want to talk to them. They mean well, but you don't want to talk to them, so you just send them a hey, text me, text me. But they may need you. You don't know. Let me tell you something. All these people who are dying, and we don't know what they're going through. People dying from suicides and drug overdose. Someone is a phone call away from you being able to listen to them and showing them that they matter. And I'm not saying you have to always answer the calls with someone who's gossiping all the time. You already know. But you know when you know. If someone is calling you and they really need to talk to you, take time to talk to them. And you may be like, oh. But ask God to help you to listen to them just like you would want somebody to listen to you. Because, I mean, we don't need no more. It's sad. We don't need no more suicides. We don't need no more drug overdose. You just don't know what people are going through. So, by answering their phone call, now if you get on the phone call and they talking foolish, you say, right now I'm not in the space to hear this right now. I can't. Can we talk later, or can you text me? Because if it's foolishness and it's negativity, you don't have time for that. But if they really need you, they really hurt, and you may be tired, and you had a long day, but that one phone call can change that person's life. You may not even say anything impactful, but just the fact that you answered the call and that you just listened to them. They may have been on the phone with you for 30 minutes. But the fact that you listened to them and you heard them, and sometimes people just need to talk things through on their own, just shows them that they matter. Okay, because people want to matter. People want to know that they matter to people, and you may not hold that friendship up in the same, or you may not weigh that friendship in the same way, because some people may not look at you the same way you look at them. But you just never know. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent about that. Okay, so you're just being seen. You're avoiding their phone calls. You're being present. You may go out to eat with people or have fun or whatever, but you're just having a cliche conversation. Nothing too deep, just to have a good time. You're not being impactful, which is fine. That's good. That's all good and fun. But here it is when you're actually showing up in your family and friends' life. When you're being faithful and you're doing the work. You're checking in with them, just like I said earlier, with your spouse and your relationships. You're checking in with them. How are you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while. Are you okay? You're not always waiting for them to call you first. You're reaching out to them. Hey, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while. And I know I have to work on that too, because sometimes I feel like if I haven't heard from you, then I guess you're all right. But that's not true. People get busy in their lives and they may mean to call you and they forget, not because you're not important, but life happens. So if they haven't reached out to you, you reach out to them. Hey, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while. Is everything going all right? Can I pray for you? If you're comfortable with saying that, can I pray for you? Is there anything you need me to pray for? Hey, you just never know, Someone's always waiting for you to ask them that question. You can help them or support them. So when you talk to them on the phone, is there anything I can do to help you? Or you text them, is there anything I can do to help you? You can support them in whatever they're doing in their lives. If it's, positive, and if they're doing something great, tell them, hey, that was great. Or show up when they need you to show up, basically. I said pray with them and listen to them. I talked about that. Listen to them, not gossip with them. You don't need to be continuing to gossip, and you're just wasting time when you're listening to gossip, if we're not talking about that person in a way where we're trying to figure out how we can help them, instead of talking about them, then then we shouldn't be talking about them. Because the same people who gossip to you about other people, they're gossiping about you to other people. They're talking about somebody else behind their back. They're going to be talking about you behind your back. Okay? Okay. So, at the end of the day, become more faithful to God and then to people. So, focus on becoming more faithful to God first. Okay? I'm sorry, looking at the time. Become more faithful to God first and then to people. Because the actions of other people will sway you to not show up and do the work. Have you ever, especially in relationships, whether it's friendships, family, or spouse or significant other, your boo thing, if you've ever wanted to do something for somebody before and then they didn't know you were going to do it, but then they did something that you didn't like and you go, oh, I ain't doing it now. Is that really a good decision? Because you were going to do it. Still do it. If you were going to do something nice for someone and they did something that was not so nice to you and you decide not to do it for them, who's winning in that? Maybe they need to know. Maybe you can be the example. Man, you hurt me. Or you did something not so nice, or you said something so nice, but I'm still going to do something nice for you, showing you that how to treat me. Because you show people how to treat you. So if I'm being an example to you, and I'm being nice to you, even though you said something not so nice to me, then I'm being the bigger person. And at the end of the day, I will be rewarded instead of... God will look down on me and say, you did a good job, instead of saying, well, you shouldn't have did that. Don't treat I'm sorry. Just don't treat people the way they treat you all the time. That makes any sense. I'm sorry. Just be nice, just be kind, just remain faithful. People are going to disappoint you all the time, but if I'm doing what God tells me to do, and then I will be, in turn, loving you the way God loves me. Okay? I kind of lost it there for a second. I think I got distracted by the time. Okay, so thank you so much. At the end of the day, continue, do your best to try to be faithful to your purpose, to your calling, to God, to your family, to your friends, to your spouses. Because you don't want to have any regrets. You don't want to say, you don't want to live a life of woulda, shoulda, coulda. So ask yourself the question that I asked you earlier. Are you showing up to be seen, or are you showing up to do the work? Okay? All right. So thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Talk It Up with Tierra Monique. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Again, you can like, share, subscribe, turn that notification bell on, so you can get all the times that I upload a podcast, whether it's on YouTube or on any of the other podcast streaming services. Don't forget to seek God first in all you do. I am on Instagram at Talk It Up with Tierra Monique. You can email me at talkitupwithtierramonique@gmail.com. You can go to my website at Everything Tierra Monique. And you can DM me if you need to at Talk It Up with Tierra Monique on Instagram and Facebook. Okay, so thank you so much. Seek God first in all you do. Love God and love people. Be kind to yourself and other people. And until next time, God bless.